This is just water, electricity, and some baking soda at about 29 amps. We found that we can inject this in the state of vacuum into our engine and double our mileage under certain circumstances. Now, I'm running a V8 350 and have been for over 30,000 miles. It all starts with the wiring. You get some number 10 gauge wire.
Okay, disclaimer, do not try to do this. This is a very, very bad idea. This is for entertainment purposes only. There's a lot of mix between home electrical and auto electrical stuff about to happen.
I see that.
And kitchen pieces. So,
anyway, no.
So reach over and pause whenever you want to. We'll talk about it.
Conductor and run it to a switch, which you put under the
What?
dash.
Just a light switch.
There we go.
Welcome back to the Third Pedal Podcast. I'm Zach.
I'm Jacob.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
And happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
To all our moms out there.
Yes.
I'm sure
our
our
mom,
audience is...
Your wife.
I'm sure our audience is just jam-packed with moms.
I think we had a solid 0.5% of our audience.
Might be.
Maybe.
Yeah. So for the 4 of you watching, thank you.
Thank you.
They are my wife.
Yep.
Probably Tyler's wife.
Yep.
Our mom.
Yep. Yeah, because mom said she listens to it now.
Yep.
Hi, mom. Hi, mom. We're probably in the living room now.
Have you figured out how to watch it now?
Was she having problems watching it?
That she didn't know it was video too, I think. Or we talked about it and she didn't. She's like, but it's a podcast. You listen to it.
That's so fun. Yeah, it was really sweet because she just I'm sure she told you when she was up here, but she's been playing it in the house.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't understand anything that you're talking about, but it makes me feel like you guys are still at home in the other room talking because it's just, this is what we sound like talking at home.
Yeah.
But I love it. But anyway, so for Mother's Day, we're just going to talk about a couple, I don't know, memories we have with mom, with cars.
Yeah.
The first off, I guess this isn't a memory of ours, but an informed thing. Our mom's cooler than yours. Her first car was a Mustang, a 70s Mustang. I'll drop a photo in here. But she had a bright red Mustang. That was her thing. She cruised around and super cool.
Yeah.
She's always been very funny about
stick shift too.
Yeah, stick shift too. That's right.
Yep.
She's always funny about even when she had her Acadia and she always wanted the higher performance engine because she wanted to be able to get on it and feel it and stuff. And she's always been funny about that. And I don't know, a lot of funny stuff. But
and just even in the car, just when we were home and they were buying family cars or whatever. Do you remember that one time they pranked us with bringing some Toyota ugly SUV? You remember that they brought that home and they're like, this is the SUV we're going to get.
No, I don't remember.
And it was and we were all like, and she's like, just kidding. I wouldn't get this ugly car. She was messing with us.
And every time, one of my favorite memories with mom has been we've had way too many cars over the years. And she's been such a good sport with putting up with dad trading always and trying to come up with some different car and thing like that.
Yeah.
She's always enjoyed them. And one of the most fun things was always we would get some different car and then coming home with it, being like, hey, mom, can I take you for a ride?
Yeah.
And then just the goal of seeing if we can get in it and go on whatever the lap is around our house and really get on it. And then if she'd be like, okay, that's enough. Then we're like, this is such
yes, it's a fast car.
It's so fast. But I remember that specifically. We just did it not too long ago when I got my WRX. And we did, and we went around the thing and I was like, all right, you ready? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, here we go. Punched it. And she was like, ugh. And we went through second gear and she's like, okay, that's enough. And then I did one more gear and she's like, stop.
Wow.
But yeah, it was super funny.
That's nuts.
But I was going to say something else. I totally lost my train of thought.
Well, she's always been, she helped us learn how to drive too.
Yeah.
And get into cars. And
she's the one who did a lot of the behind the wheel stuff with us.
Yep. And like you said, always so supportive with, supportive or tolerant, whatever the word is. It probably wasn't awesome to have oil stains everywhere in the driveway and
giving up the garage spot a lot.
Yeah, having a project car. I mean, we have how many pictures of the Datsun and the 944 up on jacks in the garage for a long time. I mean, I had mine torn down all the way to just the block.
Yes.
And yours too, when you did the head, you rebuilt that. So a lot of projects.
It's been awesome.
A lot of grease in the house smelled like that orange hand cleaner constantly, the pumice soap or whatever.
We always took over the laundry room, threw our greasy clothes in the washer and dryer and stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time, I can't imagine what it feels like to have your kid drive for the first time. That's got to be the craziest feeling because even riding
I'll let you know in 16 years.
Yeah. Driving with younger siblings is even weird sometimes.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what that's like as a parent, but I remember the feeling the first time I was driving the Acadia and she had me drive home from church or something, I think in Sheboygan. And we were riding down the road and I remember looking and she had fallen asleep. Cause you were saying, she don't initially it was okay. And make sure you do this and whatever. And then I remember the first time she fell asleep while I was driving and I was like, wow, she really trusts me to drive right now.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It was it was that is probably the most memorable moment I had in like earning confidence as a driver. Was like the moment she fell asleep. I was like, wow. Okay,
and then we all we did that family road trip out to Colorado. Didn't we all drive like legs of that too?
Yes.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, we like shoved them in the way back at that one point. But yeah, it was awesome. But mom's been awesome. She's been such a supporter and just huge on I don't know. It would have been way easier for her to just constantly be like, no, you should go get something. You should do this. You should get something reliable. You should whatever. But
I don't think I ever heard like, oh, you should get something that like makes more sense.
No. And she like engaged in conversation about all of it. I don't know that she particularly like cared or was interested in any of it, but like if we were going through a rough time with our car or something had happened, like there was never a time where we like talked about it. She's like, this isn't interesting to me.
Right.
Like she'd, oh really? Oh wow, that sounds frustrating and that kind of a thing. And we like bust our knuckle on something. She'd come in, she'd like help us bandage it up and stuff. But always been there for us. But thank you, Mom. Thank you so much.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. We're very thankful for you.
We'll do like a wait, here we go. This will be the cover. Okay.
I did the weirdest like laugh thing, but anyway.
All right. So what else we got going on?
Oh, so I have that thing I was going to show you last week that I left the episode with, the sketchy hybrid power source thing. So we were talking about big engines, that stuff we've talked about, alternative power source things in engines before. You probably already read the title of this thing now.
I'm so curious.
So
I like the cover photo of it too.
So for those listening, it's like an old GMC 1500 truck we're looking at, and like terrible font stuff. And it basically says a water burning hybrid 96 V8 350, 26 miles per gallon. The title of the video is Vacuum Pressure Hydrogen Fuel Cell Defeats High Gas Prices Using Hydrogen from H2O. This was filmed in 2011, but I guess this is more relevant now than ever with gas prices and stuff. So
someone better be doing this right now.
That being said, the beginning of this video starts with, do not try to build this. I'm going to keep the audio off here. We'll turn the audio on in a second. Here you go. Disclaimer. The information you're about to view is for information only. Do not attempt to build anything you see here. Weird way to start a tutorial.
Here's how to build it.
You can be killed by whatever that is, fuel explosions. So that's fun. But anyway, so this guy.
Okay.
So what this is doing, essentially, he's creating hydrogen within his engine bay. He sets up a system. We'll go through it now in a second. We'll play the audio and then pause and talk.
Is that a Vlasic pickle jar?
It's so much worse than that, dude.
Okay.
Just wait. So this guy's going to go through the whole step, but basically that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to create a hydrogen source that's going to augment fuel in his engine so that it's not using as much fuel, so therefore it's more efficient. That's what he's ultimately looking to do. So we'll watch this video. Just reach over and pause it or whatever whenever you want to get to a point. For those listening, you definitely want to watch this. We'll play pieces of this in here. And yeah,
making fuel from water is extremely easy. Much more easy than they would like you to believe.
It's a conspiracy.
This is just water, electricity, and some baking soda at about 29 amps. We found that we can inject this in the state of vacuum into our engine and double our mileage under certain circumstances. Now, I'm running a V8 350 and have been for over 30,000 miles. It all starts with the wiring. You get some number 10 gauge wire.
Okay, disclaimer, do not try to do this. This is a very, very bad idea. This is for entertainment purposes only. There's a lot of mix between home electrical and auto electrical stuff about this. I see
that.
And kitchen pieces. So anyway, so reach over and pause whenever you want to. We'll talk about
conductor and run it to a switch, which you put under the
dash. Just a light switch. No. This guy should not be dealing with explosives.
This is such a bad idea.
So where in Alabama was this done?
20-volt light switch, which is rated at about 20 amps at 125 volts. I'm only running at about
he's not.
So he's thinking about voltage and stuff and all that.
Not out or burned up yet, where it seems to work flawlessly. This is the ground wire that I connect to my frame. If my battery was over here, I would have put it to my battery just for convenience. Now I'm going to set the jug right here next to the master cylinder. I just have
jug.
Red flag.
Room for a gallon jug. This is the vacuum line that goes to your carburetor. This is the master cylinder.
Oh, is this carbureted?
Your brakes, controls your braking. So we're going to take advantage of the vacuum pressure of the engine right here where it's strongest.
Shouldn't you not borrow that from the brakes?
16 inches or more of vacuum at certain times. And we're going to set a pad here.
Did he mean 16 pounds?
What did he say?
16 inches of vacuum.
No, there's inches like I don't know, in mercury, like inches of mercury for pressure and stuff. Like pressure's measured in like inches of mercury or whatever.
Well, this guy's smarter than me as far as this goes, so
you just wait.
there's all.
This is all, I will say, this is like scientifically pretty genius to like do something like this, what you're about to see. I think the long-term effects, we'll get to it in a minute. I'll pause later with something. I realize that pausing and playing this is going to make editing this a bear, but we're going to figure it out. But yeah, we've got the home wire.
That's
like
Romex right there.
Yeah. And split out and going into this. But anyway, keep cruising here. Yeah, he is tapping in, for those again listening. He's talking about tapping into the vacuum line that runs from the carburetor to the brake booster. And there's a T there. So he's tapping into that to create a vacuum input source for this. But yeah, I'll keep going. It gets clearer in a sec. All of a sudden you'll understand what he's doing and you're like, wait, what?
And I've already added some baking soda to it as an electrolyte. Now this is a very fancy cell element design.
Oops, you said fancy.
Don't be disillusioned by how fancy this looks, because very simply you can get 3 faceplates.
It's got a sense of humor, huh?
High-grade stainless.
I can't tell if that's what's happening.
Teflon, nuts and bolts, and for about $5, you can make this. See, I've notched it for the wires. Put the positive in the middle, put the negatives on the outside, and boom, you've got it. I've just made a more advanced version. Run the wires through the lid like this. I'm going to install this.
The music
down
is
here.
so good.
We're going to seal this up. I'm going to show you how this thing produces gas.
This part gets super interesting.
This is the positive wire, which I run to the alternator. I've installed a 30-amp auto reset fuse on both sides, positive and negative. So I have redundant fuse protection.
You say what you will, but he's
current overload. And the fuel cell will occasionally pull too much power. We want it to automatically shut off. We connect to the alternator because we have a lot more magnetic field right there, much more energy available than connecting it to the battery.
I think he means voltage, not electric field. But so the setup right now, he's got this, I forget what he calls it, the plates that are dropped into this water. Mm-hmm. Baking soda's in the water as an electrolyte. So essentially what he's going to do is he's going to apply voltage to it, and don't know what the frick is happening chemically, but he's going to apply voltage. It's going to start bubbling. And what it's doing is it's bubbling and rising hydrogen to the top of this canister. So it's extracting the hydrogen from the water, essentially. So that's what he's set up here.
I highly recommend that you connect it exactly as you see in this fashion.
Don't do that. Don't do that, probably.
Exactly as we see?
Yeah, that's pretty. Don't do this again.
10-gauge Romex and all from Home Depot?
Jug. It's just another jug.
And yellow wire nuts?
Has a particular way of plumbing. One long hose, which goes to the fuel cell. The other hose barely in the jug, which goes to the vacuum system of the engine. You put it down in the jug, and the overflow is automatically sucked back up into the other fuel cell. We've used poster putty, which is liquid Teflon.
What is it? Poster putty.
As a sealant, it is the most recyclable thing you can use. You can use it over and over and over. It's poster putty is the brand name for it. Don't endorse any products, but I don't have any choice. It's really the best thing you can use. Plastic hoses is what we use on our vacuum pressure fuel cell. It is part of the thermodynamic.
Okay, so while he's wrapping this up here, so he's running hoses to an outside reservoir. So essentially the thought is, as this bubbles and it throws water into here, there's going to be water that's sent to the bottom of that, but he doesn't want to suck water into his engine. So he's got another at the top, so it'll just pull the gas out. The water will get deposited at the bottom. So he's safeguarding his engine a little bit.
Over 30,000 miles running on the vacuum pressure fuel cell so far, and my engine performs incredibly well. It's a little tacky at times. When it gets hot, it will really seal well.
So here he'll show it now.
This shows you some of the production in the vacuum state.
Wow. It's like a jacuzzi, like it's instant bubbles and stuff.
Gas. It's enough to actually cool the water. There's 25 amps right now flowing through there, and we want to run it as close to 30 amps as possible.
So is this while the engine is running right now?
Tremendous amount of gas.
I think he's just doing it while it's off right now.
Even more hydrogen and oxygen gas as the engine gets going. The RPMs are high, and the magnetic field is coming off of that alternator. Baking soda, Arm & Hammer, highly recommend it. It's the only one that won't foam up. Cheap stuff, you'll end up with foaming in the water, and you don't want foamy
It's so
water.
instantaneous. It's very interesting, isn't it?
It's going to have some nasty buildup eventually, but don't worry. It's not a problem in the vacuum pressure fuel cell. The extra dryer jar in front takes care of anything that would fly into the engine. It's a very interesting system and has been used.
It makes me so nervous that he's playing with sparks and stuff right on the top where he's generating a ton of hydrogen and stuff too, because that is a super flammable gas.
Used for many, many miles. A lot of people sell this for hundreds of dollars. You can build it yourself.
Hundreds of dollars.
$55 in parts.
I would expect to pay much more for that.
I would want to pay
For something
much more
that
for
grenades could potentially. Yeah, it is running.
Able to handle the
Yeah, there we
current.
go.
It will pull about 29 amps. So you have to make sure that your alternator's in good condition.
This part.
When you get this thing hooked up right, you should see water coming out of your exhaust. As it gets going, the amount of water coming out could be tremendous. Depending on your engine, if you have any carbon buildup or nasty stuff in your engine, it will generally blow out right onto the ground in front of your eyes, steam cleaning the engine.
So that would be very bad because that's how you rust everything in your engine if you steam clean it. So I don't think that's actually what's happening. I mean, I would wonder what the long-term effects are because
I'm sure
a byproduct,
it's a different type of breakup and whatever
right, exactly. Because a byproduct of like the hydrogen cells that we were looking at before. Yeah,
definitely forgot we were filming a podcast right now. I got so into that video.
I hope this is interesting to watch. We might have to chop.
I think that's a good thing. I got totally zoned in and I realized I was like slouching over here, just like staring into this. So welcome back, guys.
So anyway, that's pretty much the end of this video. He doesn't really go much more into
this.
But
oh, I thought we were going somewhere.
No, he just talks about steam cleaning it.
Do you? Who's we? So I have a question. Few questions.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting though?
Super crazy. Dude, I know. I was sucked in even just now too. I was like
as easy as it is to like make fun of him and that and like the whole scenario of all this happening, even just the fact that it's like a 96 GM, like it would make a little more sense to do something like this. Obviously it makes more sense to do it. It does make sense to do it in a truck where it's spending a lot of gas anyways.
Right.
But like say you take a Corolla or whatever that already gets decent gas mileage and you bump this in to get it to like, you get something like 60, 80 miles a gallon, something like that. That'd be pretty awesome.
Isn't that neat?
So if this works, why is it not a thing? And don't use his canned response because they don't want us to. Like they don't want you to know about this hydrogen fuel cell. Save you gasoline.
Yeah, it's big. It's big oil. They don't
big
want you
oil doesn't want us to know.
I wonder if I'm really concerned about the long term. Like, okay, a Chevy 350. I think there's been like funny videos and stuff of people like throwing gravel in those and like starving them of oil for the fun of it. Like, I think that motor will run like on a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's the best longevity test because I would imagine you're going to be rusting if a byproduct. This is what I don't know because you're like hydrogen cell engines, or hydrogen cell vehicles rather, like that Toyota that we looked at a few weeks ago. That one, the byproduct is water because of the chemical reaction that it's doing with hydrogen and the air, and it reacts and that becomes water, and that reaction, that's what forms the electricity that goes in the battery that goes everywhere. This is different. We're just burning hydrogen, so you're just like you're literally using the vacuum system unregulated, which you can test that now. You could pull a vacuum line off any car, off my WRX, off your Audi, and if you sprayed starter fluid in it, your engine will rev because it's getting extra fuel that it didn't know. It'll try to cut and fix it, but it'll rev. So all he's doing is using a constant vacuum source from his engine that's running to the brakes and just happens to be another, sucking into the intake. And he's using that to suck from that second reservoir any hydrogen gas that's produced in the first from the whole electrolyte stimulation thing. But I would imagine through I don't know what the byproduct of burning hydrogen is. It's not water. I don't really know why water is being spit out of his tailpipe like that. That seems alarming.
Pretty typical of an engine. Like there is moisture or whatever that gets kicked out.
Right. I hope it's not coming from this though, because if it is, that would be why this doesn't exist. Like if you're sucking it, just making a nice rusty line on the whole inside of your engine.
And like the 350 is you're right, probably going to just still run forever with that. Yeah. So here's a question I have though. Yeah. Is it truly running more efficiently because he's figured out a way that he's got a Mount Olives jar and a Vlasic jar. Interesting. Sorry, I just noticed that. This guy really likes pickles. Is it truly making it more efficient because it's actually burning hydrogen as a fuel source at the same time as typical gasolina? Or is he just cooling his motor a little bit and allowing it to be more efficient? Because, there's like you can get like a meth kit for your car where it sprays in the intake and it cools it down. There's things you can do with water in that respect too.
It's a good question.
So, like I just wonder if a carbureted 350, I mean, you could probably put a bunch of stuff in there that would make it run a little bit more efficiently. You could change out the air filter or tune the carb a little bit different and it would run a little bit more efficiently. So I wonder if maybe it was running a little bit rich and now you cooled it down and diluted the mixture a little bit and now it's running a little bit. It's running a little cleaner.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have a lot of questions.
I know cooling it because that would essentially like people do that for horsepower numbers, so that gives it more power. So then therefore it would make it a little bit more efficient.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. It seemed interesting because the concept makes sense. So if it's flammable and you're not just drowning your engine in it, like I think the burn temperature is different. Obviously the combustion point, the burn temperature and everything would be different for hydrogen than it would for gasoline.
Yeah. It's interesting to, in theory, if it's siphoning a little bit of it into there.
Right.
So
it's super crazy. Don't try this, please.
Please don't try this.
It actually, like, apart from just joking and people having to say that, it is very, very dangerous. Hydrogen gas is crazy flammable.
Regardless of so if you get that far,
right,
that's dangerous.
Right.
Like you're gonna, especially using your outlet or switches from inside your house.
You could not only damage your car greatly, but you could injure or kill yourself or somebody else doing this. Because if it's on the road and it sparks and it is an explosion, if it just catches your engine on fire, I mean, you're facing a lot of stuff that insurance wouldn't cover. So don't recommend doing this at all. It is a very interesting, maybe supplemental thing for efficiency in engines. Maybe it's something that, an auto manufacturer.
Let's let them figure it out. Apparently Toyota has, if you guys go back a few episodes back, you did bring a hydrogen powered car.
Yes.
So that's pretty interesting.
Because they're exploring the technology, but this was, I don't know, interesting thing to be a decade old and have something like this for him. This dude's backyard mechanic to be tossing this onto a Chevy.
Were there any other videos after this?
I don't know.
Is this his last video?
This is the end. Let's see. Let's go to his channel here real quick.
Warning. So go videos.
Off-grid solar setup. That's cool.
Go videos though. Not home.
Yeah. A bunch. Music and stuff like that. So if you're into metal, check this guy out.
Cool.
He's got another vacuum pressure photon injection. Wait, what now? Okay, we're gonna have to dive in this later.
That's got to be another.
What in the world? Vacuum pressure. Oh, he's got another one about the fuel cell too. But anyway, so interesting DIY, pretty cool concept. But definitely don't try it. But it also makes me really want to get like a Civic and
if you could just get a beater car and just try a bunch of this stuff.
Get a fuel cell, so something that's like rated and impact rated and all that stuff, and try to do that, but all with like
get the correct AN lines and
exactly where I was going to
plumb it all correctly, do the electrical all correctly,
safe electrical
set its own fuse box up with different variants for
emergency kill
and
switch,
stuff.
do like an engine bay fire retardant system or something to like try to make it as safe as possible. But it would be interesting to do some trials on that, and then I wonder how it compares to like CNG and like is there a way to supplement CNG with gasoline that like maybe you could get the same effect that's safer with a different system or what? But I was blown away when I can't remember how I even found it, but I think it came up as a suggested thing. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what is this like camcorder recorded backyard? It reminds me of that guy. Dad talked about it on episode, I don't even know, 6 or 7, 5, I don't know, or way early. The guy that he was talking about that like would do all the crazy, the guy that essentially was like he like disappeared. He did all the scientific stuff and just like disappeared one day. Kind of reminds me of like that type of guy who's sitting here like, they don't want us to know about this, but like check this out, look what I figured out, and he like has his truck running on.
Black SUV's pulled up.
Yeah, right. Well, can you picture? He just like goes to the gas station, fills up his tank, walks in. He's like, "You guys have distilled water here?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's aisle 4." He's like, "All right, cool. Baking soda?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like goes, and they see him like pop his hood and just like click. They're like, what is happening here? But anyway, thought that was crazy. Wild. So that was my thing that I started talking about last week. But
so with that, you had some make it or break it, I think.
Yes.
All right, let's get into that. Let's get into make it or break it. You got to make me laugh. That was a little too heavy.
Deep conspiracy. Yeah. Okay, so
what do we have
this week? Let's go. Record, get the screen going. All right. So first of all, this isn't a make it or break it. We have to look at this thing. Look at this car. This isn't make it or break it. This is guess what the heck this started as. This is a transformer, complete
Celica
decked out thing. I have no clue what it started as. I don't have an answer. I want to know why it's a Decepticon and a whatever the other one is.
There's so many emblems.
Every single one.
What is happening?
It's all steel plate stuff. But like
it's all diamond plated.
It's very. Was it a 370 or 350?
Oh, it could be. That's why I thought.
Interesting.
Actually, here
because they've got a couple other angles.
Oh yeah, it was for sure.
Oh, poor thing.
That was a 350.
Isn't that insane? It's kind of impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very impressive. I wouldn't want it, but holy cow.
I mean, it's a lot of work.
What happens if you hit someone in this? Isn't that crazy?
I thought a paper cut was bad. Man.
Dude,
look at all the sharp points on the front.
Yeah.
Looks like you hit a little curve there. Dude,
Isn't
yeah,
that
just
nuts?
running in like
Never seen anything like that. It was I'm on a Facebook page. I highly recommend you guys, not affiliated with them at all. But it's called If You Squint, It's Mint. So, or there's
That's
it might have
awesome.
been that one, or there's another one. It's like Photoshop but with welding. So, one of
That's
those two.
amazing.
But anyway, all right, so we'll get into it. So I
Wow.
actually got some leaked footage of they're testing the new Bronco Raptor, doing some off-road testing with it. So watch that guy. Not really.
Wow. That is a Bronco though. So, oh no. Oh no. Oh.
I've never
What are
heard
you
the audio
for?
before. That's so
Yeah.
sad.
Oh,
Yeah, isn't
that's
that-
such a bummer, dude.
Because this is sketchy too because of how steep of a hill that's not.
Yeah.
It looks so much. That's like anything with cars. It looks so much
Yeah,
less
the
cool.
video
in
just doesn't
person.
look as intense. Yeah.
But yeah, that guy, it goes down hard. So
Ouch.
That's pretty rough. But
That
anyway, thought that was
sucks.
funny. This one's amazing. This is speaking of, we've talked a lot recently. I feel like about like Honda and K series swaps and things like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
this is a quick 40 to 45 pull.
Oh man, 40 to 45. Oh, that was the longest acceleration.
Speaking of pulls, this is something that a lot of people in the Subaru community hopefully never have to experience,
no.
but probably do.
Oh. Oh.
So for those who
Dude,
aren't aware,
that's a bummer.
that's what a head gasket looks like when it goes.
Yeah, that's not good.
So all right, and then
What was
this guy, the oil one.
Yeah, what is that?
This guy.
I see dirty oil.
So the caption: customer declined repairs.
Oh no. How is that thing still going?
I don't know. I don't know how it didn't strip out yet. Oh, it did.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yikes.
That one made me uncomfortable to watch. Though.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's no
Oh
fun.
my gosh.
All right,
All right,
this
here
is
we
a
go.
perfect one. This is a perfect one. Ready?
I think so. Okay. What? Okay. So the dude
me
started
start-
walking across the
Let me
road.
start over.
Sure.
Okay.
He's
Yep.
just walking.
Just regular guy, just walking across the street.
There's enough variables going on in
I
this.
know. There's so.
I don't think you'd show me a video of a guy getting smoked.
No. This is, I think, internet safe.
I don't know. It's gonna be a break, I think, but I something's gonna happen with this car. I wonder if maybe somebody's gonna blow a stoplight or something like that.
All right.
No.
Well, this is red, as you can tell.
Okay. Oh, so he already did.
So
blow
that
the light.
guy blew the stoplight,
okay.
and it's already red here. So
Okay.
he's back there, and it's red.
He
okay.
completely blew it.
So here's part one. And
Oh!
just misses him, and then
Oh my gosh.
that was the part I was like, whoa. It just comes.
It looks like you forgot your car.
So that guy's fine. There he
Oh
is.
my gosh.
Yeah. So do it one more time.
Oh my gosh.
So crash, throws the Honda or the Acadia at him or whatever it is, GMC, and then
Forgot your car. I like that it took them that long to stop. Could you imagine this person's
Yeah.
perspective?
yeah, dude,
Oh my gosh.
a whole SUV just landed on your hood, and that's like one of those
And this
Jaguar.
guy's just like, I'm sorry, I'm just late for work.
yeah, this guy. This one's the worst. Find him. It's like I gotta go.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh, cheers. Okay.
Okay,
Takes the right.
why?
Looks
This-
like I don't have to yield.
Just
The front end of that thing.
yeah, it's pretty rough. So not a good. I mean, it's a bad accident.
Gosh. That's insane.
But for this guy in the car and
Dodged a bullet, dude.
that guy walking, both okay.
Wow.
These don't seem.
This guy's
This guy-
totaled. This guy's totaled.
They're both totaled
This
cars.
guy's probably totaled.
This
They're all
guy's
fine,
probably
though.
total cars.
They
It
look
seems
fine.
like they're okay.
Looks like it.
We're gonna say they're okay.
Yeah, they're fine. Otherwise,
So-
we wouldn't have the video.
Yes,
Oh
they're
my
okay.
gosh.
Everybody's okay.
Oh, it's so crazy.
So, anyways,
That's
that was the
awesome,
one.
man.
So,
well,
wow, I feel like we went through so much
that was a
in
lot.
this episode.
That was a lot. I have one more thing to share.
Okay.
Yeah, this has been an emotional roller
This has
coaster.
been a lot.
So far, this is how I'll preface this. This is not going to calm me down. Just fair warning.
okay.
So we got confused and we got way too deep. and then now we just got like excited and laughing and stuff.
Okay,
So
what else
the emotion we haven't experienced is anger yet. So we're gonna get into that.
Lovely. What else do we have?
So this, not necessarily anger. I'm just curious. We talked about this a while ago.
Yeah.
Talked about this a while ago. We made the prediction. I mean, we didn't make the prediction. People have been talking about it, but it's officially hitting the market now. So this headline here: Audi owner finds basic HVAC function paywalled after pressing the button for it. So
how does that even happen?
Yeah. So the story goes in this. So he purchased a Q4 e-tron. Okay. Which cool.
Okay.
And in purchasing it, he didn't want to pay the $758 to get the the tri-zone climate control. Okay. So the base trim, obviously just has like a regular climate control system. This was the front, the passenger, and the rear climate control.
Yeah.
Didn't want to pay the upcharge for it, so opted out of it.
Makes sense. I mean, if you're buying a brand new electric SUV,
right,
it seems like you shouldn't have to pay for it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. So that's where this all goes, right? So what he found was when he got the car, instead of having a blank, everybody's got blanks in their cars. You look around the interior of your car. It's actually a fun way you can see what options you could add and then Google what could have been there.
Right.
But like if you get a base model car, they want to produce one dashboard across the board. So they've got one panel, and then they've got a bunch of blanks and like one button in it, right? So like on my WRX, I have one on the left side, and it's got two buttons. It's got the cruise and the fog lights, and then a couple blanks. And I think in other models that could be heated seats. It could be things like that, things you're not equipped with. That's what they used to do. Apparently, it's not what they do anymore. They thought, well, why not just give everybody the switches? Yeah. So in this Audi, I'll put the GIF that's playing in here. We'll have a whole GIF thing, I'm sure, in the comments. So they have the sync button, which would be the multi-climate control.
Yeah.
And when they press it, a message comes up on the screen of the vehicle that says, this function has not been purchased.
Wow.
And then, okay, you don't
it's
get to
not
do
that this function isn't available.
Right.
That message is basically saying this car has the capabilities, everything it needs. It can absolutely do zoned.
Right.
The sync.
Right.
Air conditioning, heat, or whatever. But you have not paid for the right to use it.
Because I would imagine that would mean that you can go purchase it and add it on, and they just, cool, you have the tri-zone climate control now, which just makes me mad.
Yeah,
because if it comes with it, why not give people it? Like, I get that it feels like a lack of confidence that you can't upsell the car to another thing. So just, pay for us to unlock that for you, I guess. Because at that point, like, I don't know why they wouldn't do, like we talked about before, of like the heated seats or the, like, remote start's already one that I pay for on my car. I have the capability. I pay for a subscription to the My Subaru app, so that makes me feel okay-ish because there's a lot of other stuff that comes with that.
Right.
But
the
this
ones
one
where
was
they're app
crazy.
focused, like the Volkswagen's the same way. It has it. It's on the remote.
Yeah.
But like the start from anywhere thing, obviously it requires cell service to be activated in the car.
Right.
So you got to pay for that.
Right.
That I get.
Right. Because the car has to connect to a service somewhere. You're paying for a service.
But if you had it capable and you had the button on the remote, and it was everything was there, and it didn't cost anything extra to the manufacturer to do it because they already paid for it to be installed. But you had to pay them to get it unlocked to be able to use it. Yes. That would be super frustrating. That's what this is.
Yeah, from my perspective, that's this. If I paid for it and it has the hardware for it, I should get it. Like, I shouldn't, if it's sitting in my
car. Don't build the car with it then.
Right.
If you don't want me to be able to use it.
Because if you go down the road too, let's say your blower motor goes out, and it would have been cheaper if it was actually a simpler single unit.
Yeah.
But you have the whole complex whatever unit.
Right.
But now you can't access it because it's software blocked.
Yep.
But oh man, so I thought that was crazy that it's actually so blatant too that it does that. It doesn't even just you click it and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And so it clicks and the light. I think you can see it in the one video. It comes on and then comes off.
Turns on and then turns off.
Yeah. And so there was a funny quote at the end of this that said, let me see it enough. This one, blank buttons aren't rude, wrote the owner. This one is reminding me that I'm cheap.
Wow.
So it's just that. It's just kind of a spit in the face almost.
It's kind of like it's impressive by, I guess this is Audi. It doesn't seem like something Audi would do, but like they can go, okay, so we're going to sell this car for 40 grand. That whatever, say 40 grand is like the price. And then we're going to have other models that are more expensive. Mm-hmm. Well, let's just start them, still pay 40 grand, but you don't have the features. Mm-hmm. So like, or we'll charge the higher price. So maybe we start them at 45 now, but you got to pay extra for all the features. So everybody still seems like they're getting the car for the price, but like you don't have all these features. Right. Like they're in the car, so it's simpler for our manufacturing. Right. We don't have to make this model and this model and this model. We get to have one manufacturing line, and they can just build all the cars exactly the same. Right. And then we just charge the different people for what they want.
Yeah. It's nuts.
It's not like it's hardware either. That's the frustrating thing is that the hardware's already there. It's just software to unlock it. So Can't you just jailbreak your car?
That's what I'm wondering.
Couldn't you just do that?
Yeah,
I know
right.
that's sketchy to do on an electric car.
Start it up. You have like a Windows 98 theme. Like
Dude, that would be awesome.
Be kind of cool. But
your screen, it's doing the little like DVD thing.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that, I'm sure that's coming up. Is going to be like, instead of a tune, there's going to be like other things like software unlock things that you can do outside of the dealer, which gets super sketchy because then I'm sure liability and stuff all goes out.
And warranty voiding and like all kinds of that stuff.
Because like already,
and it's only computer. It's not like you're messing with any hardware. It's not like you're changing the turbo out. But I bet if you jailbroke the computer to get, to change different AC controls because you don't want to pay $750 or whatever. Like
it's crazy.
And now you void your warranty for it or whatever.
Right.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. So anyway, I thought it's a theoretical thing that we've talked about for a while. But then for this owner, and this wasn't stateside. I believe this is over in the UK. Yeah. That this happened, but
they wouldn't do that in America.
No, it wouldn't stand. But yeah, I just shocked. I was in Denmark where this happened.
Okay.
But, just shocked that that's actually a thing. That the button was there. They press it, and it's sorry.
I wonder if that's obviously the manufacturer made it possible for that to happen.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's more of a dealer issue. Like if the dealer's supposed to like.
Yeah.
This is the premium model, so you got to unlock it for this and this, and then the dealer's like, "Oh, pay us $750 and we'll unlock that for you." I wonder if there's more to it than just as simple as it's laid out. Obviously, they need the attention grabbing for the article and whatever and stuff like that. Right. So I wonder what's all.
Yeah. I wonder what this will, because we'll see it quick. If this starts, I don't know that the Q4 e-tron is over here yet. Is it?
I've seen it around.
Okay. Because like I'm assuming we'd hear about very quickly, as if you start having more features. I can't imagine that the sync feature is the only thing that's like that. So is there a hidden like steering wheel heater button somewhere that you can't turn on? Is it still a heated steering wheel and you don't know? Like, all-wheel drive, is there different driving modes? Maybe the R is going to be the same exact drive line now, but there's just a different sport.
Well, if it's electric, we talked about that before too. Like with the electric capabilities, they can dumb them down on the base model to just be your regular thing. And then it could be like, well, it's capable of twice that much power, but you got to pay for the R package to get that. And then they put a little carbon fiber lip on it and then plug a USB in and now it's an R.
Right. It's just nuts. But anyway, so I thought that was an interesting, keep your eye out for that. Especially if you're purchasing a new vehicle, make sure you test all the buttons before you buy it, because you don't know which one's going to pop up with the window.
Like, I don't know how common that really is, but we're not shopping for new cars, so maybe we don't know. It'd be a good question to ask. Like, hey, are there any features that are available on this car that I'd have to pay for to get?
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, that would be, man, that's a whole new question to ask. Yeah, hey, how many of these buttons aren't going to work?
Forget about the like, what if I pay cash today? Like, dealers already don't care about that anymore.
Oh yeah, right.
Like it's so much more about like, what are the features and
that's so crazy. Well, because you used to be able to. Like I've done in shopping for cars, I've had a couple of Jeep Grand Cherokees. And so I know what the shifter looks like, or I know certain buttons to look out for to know what features it has. Right?
Oh, sure.
So like you'll look for something, that's not a blank that has that. So that means it's whatever, like on old S4s, there was a little traction button in the center. And if you had that, you had a locking differential in the rear. So you could look for that. But this, you couldn't see anything. You couldn't just look and see, I don't have any blanks. I have all of them. That must be the premium model.
You used to be able to look and see, because I remember shopping for the Tiguans, I would look and be like, okay, this one has heated seats. Awesome. But they could have all the buttons there. And then it's like, you got to pay for heated seats.
And the thing that makes you think is, does that mean, so say you get the base model, but they just, I get it. They don't want to develop 6 different center HVAC controls. They just want one. So I get that that's what they want to do. But does that mean they also don't want to make 2 different versions of seat? And I actually have heated seats, but I can't use them? Or is it just that piece and they really aren't equipped to do it? That's going to be the big, I think, core of this story. And
people will dig into that quickly, because if it's the hardware that they're including and not allowing access to, it's easy to figure out.
Right.
What I think is kind of cool about that in one way, where the manufacturers will make they'll basically say you get like not the highest trim level, so it doesn't have all the features, but you have all the buttons available.
Yep.
I know for some of the older cars, there's companies that make buttons that you can put in there for different features.
Yes.
So like I saw one for, I think it was for like the, I don't know, 2010 or later Golf R, if that's the year, I forget. And one of them, and it shows like the little emblem, looks like an OEM emblem, and it's an exhaust. So you put that in there for like your exhaust valves or exhaust cutout or something like that.
Super cool.
So there's some different cool stuff. Yeah, obviously there's the ejecto cedo cuz one you could do.
I did it in mine though, because I put a CarPlay head unit in, and then I put a USB. It looked like a factory option, but it was a little USB flip top thing, so I could plug a USB in at the base of my console, and it would go into the back, so it looked like a whole factory sealed unit. It's a very clean install on that, but
that's awesome.
But so there goes. Gone are those days, and here are the days of like sorry, you don't have that feature. So it'd be cool, but whatever. I think Tesla kind of got people ready for that. I think there are different Tesla features that you can purchase apps within it, stuff like that. So,
well, even just the fact that you can like get an update on your car and now you have more range, like that's a pretty common Tesla thing. So and they all have free updates and whatever, but I'm sure eventually some of that stuff will be paid.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's nuts. But anyway, so that was so there we go. There's the full gamut of
full
roller coaster
for
this one.
That was a lot, but no, that was fun.
Yeah, but anyway,
going through it all.
Thank you guys for joining us. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you, Mom, for making it through this episode, supporting us like crazy.
Do you think she's watching all the way at this point?
I don't know. maybe we caught her attention now. At the end. Maybe so, it was black. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
She's like, oh hey, you're talking to me again. But
well,
anyway,
happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to Jessica as well.
Yep.
And all the other moms out there watching.
Thanks.
Peace.